let's get into this Drake stuff because Drake has been has received a response from UMG in accordance to his lawsuit, um, or the petition. All right, let's be correct with it. The petition that he has against UMG, that can become a lawsuit in accordance to the "Not Like Us" thing. It's for defamation. He's saying that these guys pushed the song and the streams and boosted them with a song that was dissing him and defaming his character, calling him a PDF file. Okay. So obviously a lot of people were not happy with that. And you know what? Some of Drake's stands were super happy about it. I'm gonna pull up a video that I feel sums up this the best way possible. And it's not from one of Drake's fans, so maybe it might have a little bit of a biased tinge to it. But I got a video from Jamari who breaks down the response from UMG. And just to like not bury the lead, UMG told him to get out of here, B. We did the same shit for you, the same thing that all of us have been speaking about over these live streams and over different times. We've been doing the same thing for you. We boosted your songs. What about back to back and all that other shit? Like, bruh, cut it out. Cut it out. So I'm gonna let Jamari explain it because he put it into a nice video for me, and it's literally a brand new video. So
actually responded
to him.
Drake, and they have basically told him, "It's over, my guy." They slapped him with this 25-page rebuttal to the judge, where they essentially played the exact same game that Drake's lawyers were playing, using song lyrics both against Drake and to bolster their argument. Only in this case, they're using logic and reasoning, where Drake was using academics' YouTube streams and his own fan pages for reference.
Yeah, I want it all, that's why I strive for it. This me, you'll never hear a reply for it.
Drake.
Salute to Jamari with the AI voice on his voice. You ain't low, bro. That's you rapping Drake's lyrics.
Successful. Plaintiff, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. Instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve his wounds. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. Basically,
say it again.
Artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve.
So they said that he's the unbothered artist that he claims to be, and they didn't
of his wounds. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice.
All right, without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. So they want this case dismissed and don't even talk to us about this anymore. All right.
Basically, they came out swinging and making the point that everyone else already has, that if Drake had been victorious in this battle of public perception, that he would not be suing anyone. In fact, he would likely be going on the Fuck Kendrick tour just like he did with Meek Mill. They even note here that Drake himself was encouraging Kendrick to drop a response to him for weeks, which is exactly what happened. He was even going on Instagram saying that they have nothing to drop, and that he had the red button on deck if they did, which most people now assume was his Family Matters track. And well, we all know how that ended.
UMG's on some slick shit right now. Just like, bruh, didn't you ask for the battle? Didn't you say drop, 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 drop? Six Side said, let's move on, Drizzy. Yo, for real, fam. This is why I put this at the top of the live, okay? And this is also for the Kendrick, the K Glazers out there who might be like, oh, all you do is talk about Kendrick and Drake. We're going to be probably live for the next 2.5, 3 hours. We're doing this 10 minutes tops. And then we're moving on to other topics that maybe some people who might be affiliated with Drake, but we ain't talking about Drake and Kendrick and, oh, he said you take it further and I'll take it there and I'll take it further. I don't care, man. I so don't care. It's March 19th, B. How the hell are we still talking about this shit? And to be honest, it's both of their faults. The Super Bowl was last month. And I was hearing whap, 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 whap at the Super Bowl. Okay, so it's not just Drake's fault for being a crybaby. It's both of these niggas' fault. Get over it, man. The fans are sick of it. Don't take no more shots. I don't care about the shots that Kendrick took on the Playboy Cardi album. Now you guys sound like children, man. Like the fans are more growing up than you. Come on, B.
Essentially, UMG comes from the angle that both of these guys said hyperbolic things about each other. Obviously, Drake was called a PDF at the Super Bowl, by the way, and the Grammys. Oh god, and at the Oscars too?
Well, we're halfway through the show, which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile.
And Kendrick was called a wife-beating lowlife who Drake says is fathering the love child of his partner and his best friend and business associate, Dave Free. Basically, UMG is saying that Drake and Kendrick, by Drake's depiction in his lawsuit, both actually committed their share of defamation using UMG as the vehicle to do so, and that this is
Facts.
actually an attempt to basically limit or restrict Kendrick's right to free speech and creativity, and that the implications of this lawsuit are something that Drake has signed petitions against in the recent past, using song lyrics as facts in court.
Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take.
Wow. So not only are they on some shit like, bruh, you know, if you had won, you wouldn't be having the same tune. They're like, bro, you incited the battle. Weirdly enough, I'm like thinking to myself, were the UMG lawyers listening to the podcast, and not just this podcast, like multiple podcasts that were saying literally the same thing? Like, what about that tailor-made freestyle? You put the jewels in the freestyle.
Yo, fairy tales won't do it.
These are all things I said when the lawsuit first reared its ugly head, that there is no logic behind his claims because he did all the same shit. For instance, in alternate reality where photos surfaced of Whitney being all beaten and battered, we might be looking at a totally different outcome. But to the victor goes the spoils, and for Drake's claims of adultery and abuse, there was little to no evidence to point to. That's why the claims really did not stick. Next, they really go through Drake's career and highlight the fact that they had a successful business partnership for the greater part of the last 2 decades, making him one of the most popular artists in the world during that time.
This business is selling the record.
Hold on, what did it say again over here? So Drake is unintentionally known artist. Unintentionally. Internationally known rap artist. Drake signed with UMG through UMG's Republic division in 2009 and extended his contract in 2022. Drake's partnership with UMG has been hugely successful. He is one of the best-selling artists of all time, with over 170 million artists, including Billboard. All right.
The artist in the world during that time.
This business is selling the record, but everything that they said that they did for Kendrick is something they did for him.
And then they break down the lyrics of the songs from the beef to kind
Wow, UMG's really on some shit, bro. They're like, yo, they went through lyrics. Like, they're releasing the shit, so I'm sure that somebody in the office heard the bars and said, yeah, what about this?
just display that both of these men were talking their shit to each other. Then, seemingly impatient with the time it was taking Lamar to respond, Drake released Tailor-Made Freestyle on Instagram. The recording uses artificial intelligence to make it sound as if the voices of deceased rap icon Tupac and rapper Snoop Dogg are rapping Drake's lyrics.
He did the Tupac thing.
Drop and give me 50.
Yeah. Doing the Tupac AI thing.
Right.
You know, you talk about feeling disrespect. I mean, the whole coast.
Yeah.
We love Tupac.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The world loved Tupac.
Drake urges Lamar in the voice of Tupac to talk about Drake liking young girls. I mean, y'all have to remember, Drake said the Epstein angle was what he expected. That he plotted for weeks and fed Kendrick this information. They also note that these rumors of him having questionable relationships with underage girls in the entertainment industry have been circling for almost a decade. They even cite
Wow. UMG really said that to him? Exhibit N, which is a true and correct copy of January 6, 2019 article entitled Drake Slammed on Social Media for 2010 video in which he kisses fondles 17-year-old girl, written by James blah, and Rashid Ali for USA Today, available. Oh my God. Yo, UMG sounds like a case, like K-bots. Don't get me wrong. They're not wrong, but they're literally bringing up the same talking points as the K-barbs.
video of him and the 17-year-old girl on stage at his concert from 2000.
They're like, you remember that, bro?
2010. Remember, Drake is the one who specifically brought up Millie Bobby Brown on the Heart Part 6, and to me I've always seen that as sort of a self-report, because while Kendrick said, oh, you like these young girls, he never mentioned any of them by name. And in his own voice, Drake raps,
Since like that, your tone changed a little. You're not as enthused. How are you not in the booth? It feels like you kinda removed. You try to let this shit die down. Nah, not this time. You following through. I guess
That didn't age too well.
you need another week to figure out how to improve. What the fuck is taking so long? We waiting on you.
and then obviously the nuke was dropped on his head top. Now, they really continue to harp on the back and forth of the lyrics. I saw Drake fans online saying that this was pathetic, but it's like, how do you not realize?
Okay, so I think we got enough as far as like the details of what UMG said back at Drake. Here's my thing, and we don't have to spend a super long time on this. Yes, agreed. I think people, they get a misconception when it comes to myself or just us being a Toronto network, that we're going to be like, no, well, this is why that Drake should do it, and this is the reason why he's doing it for the culture. No, I have no answers for you, gang. I'm sorry. It doesn't look good. All of these things that UMG is saying, in my opinion, I agree with. So if Drake was going to take advice from me, I would say just drop the lawsuit, bro. It already looks kind of crazy because the petition was filed, and you kind of can't take that back. We all saw it. Okay, but you're doing well right now. You got a new album out with Party Next Door. Nokia's hitting #1 on the charts. Bruh, let us all move on from this shit. Because even keeping the case going, and listen, I could only speak for how I feel, and I feel like the fans feel, okay? But keeping the case going is just giving these guys more ammunition to drag you. And it's just dragging the battle longer. Because every time we get an update from this case, it brings back the whole battle again. We got to discuss the different angles that came in. The case is basically on a song from the battle, and it's extending the length. It's extending the legs on Not Like Us. To be honest, Not Like Us could have probably died down maybe about 3 months ago if there wasn't no lawsuit filed right now. I know y'all are expecting something else. Y'all expecting to be like, yo, stop glazing Drake. Okay, for all of the people who pop into the chat every once in a while from America, who are, not even just from America. Let me not paint you guys in a large brush like that. But for the K-Blots, the K-Glazers, who pop in the chat every once in a while and they're like, stop glazing Drake. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't agree with Drake on this one right here. It's not a good look for a rap battle, for any legal actions to be taken. From somebody who's judged the battle raps, who's been to a multitude of battle rap battles, like, the real battle rap battles, the one without the beats. These guys be saying some gruesome shit to each other. All right? Nobody's filing no lawsuits. I've seen a few squabbles here and there, but to be honest, the amount of squabbles that I've seen in comparison to the amount of battles that I've seen are far and few in between. And they say way worse shit than probably struck a chord and it's probably A minor. Am I wrong, gang? Like, Easy the Block Captain and Remy Ma need to catch the fade with homie who exposed them on the stage that day. I'm sorry, I don't remember the dude's name who exposed Remy Ma that day on the stage. Okay? If you want to have a lawsuit, then Remy Ma and Easy, put a lawsuit on homie who exposed us that night in my own rap battle, in my own league. It wasn't even on a Smack URL or something like that. It was on a Chrome 23. Gang, please help me with the name. What's the name of the nigga that was battling? Geechee Gotti. Thank you, Allen. Geechee Gotti. Sue Geechee Gotti then. All right? You're talking about personal shit. You broke up our home. Now Papoose is going to have to pay for alimony, or maybe Remy Ma is going to have to pay alimony, child support, all these different things. Sue Geechee Gotti. Look what he said on the stage. He exposed the fact that they were having a relationship, and Papoose punched Easy the Block Captain in the face. Sue that nigga. See, it don't work the same way, right? Oh, well, you know, Easy the Block Captain and those guys, they're not worth as much money as me. And come on, man. You know, there's way more high stakes than when the guy called me a PDF file. Listen, man, I've been at a rap battle where a homie's one of the battlers' grandfather was in the hospital, and the dude still made it to the battle. In the guy's opponent's rebuttal, he said, yo, I hope your grandfather dies. And like put emphasis on it, dies. And I can see dude's jaw pause, like trembling. Like he wanted to swing so badly on this guy, but he didn't. And to me, that was one of the worst things I ever heard, because I knew that dude almost didn't make it to the battle because he was at his grandfather's bedside. And this guy used it against him. Said, I hope, he didn't even make it a hot bar. He was just like, I hope your grandfather, you know, when two white boys be battling, right? He was like, I hope your grandfather dies. And it's like, oh, shit. Did he say that? Oh, shit. It didn't even rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Sue that nigga. Bro. You know, you're putting me through emotional trauma. I'll never be able to walk into a bar again without hearing those lyrics. Emotional damage. Right? Come on, man. And listen, it's above my pay grade, but hip hop is not above my pay grade, fam. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, oh, you know, we got to expose these labels for all of the bad practices that they've been doing to us for all these years. We got to get it for what they did to the Co-Crush. Niggas would probably get mad at me. But would Drake have that same energy if he had squashed Kendrick in that battle? If we were doing the Family Matters dance all the way into the summertime, would he have called any of the lawyers? Okay? If any of those things have to come into question, then the lawsuit doesn't seem like a good idea. And last thing on this, and I feel like I'm repeating myself. This is how much I'm over this shit. If Drake was to keep the lawsuit going and win said lawsuit, you know niggas can't say shit no more in these rhymes. We're already going towards a desolate wasteland of hip hop going in the future. All right, where these guys, they're not even lyrically proficient enough to want to engage with each other, and we want to hear it. Okay, if Playboy Cardi and Lil Uzi Vert fell out tomorrow and they started battling each other, I don't want to hear an ad-lib battle. I'm sorry. Don't get it twisted. Lil Uzi Vert, he could spit when he wants to, but like, I'm not trying to see a fashion off, purse off, who got the brightest nail polish. Like, none of these niggas rap no more. So for the far and few who actually do, if one of them is to rise to prominence and become the biggest rapper since Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick, don't have their hands tied where they can't feel like they can't battle. What's going to be after Generation Alpha? Generation Beta? When Generation Beta's on deck right now, don't have Generation Beta like, yo, man, let's just be friends. There's no competition in rap anymore. Remember when Drake filed that lawsuit? Now we're just all Care Bears. I'm not trying to hear Care Bear rap, man. Please. Don't kill hip hop, Drake. Drop the lawsuit, fam. As a man from Toronto over here, niggas was expecting to hear something different. Like, yo, we'll stop glazing Drake Friday. Sorry, can't. Sorry, not. No glazing over here. Drop the suit, bro. Drop the suit, fam. You look crazy. How you call yourself a K-bot, bro? That's like a derogatory term, fam. Iru Stevens E-Raw says, we K-bots are winning. No, fam. Just say, us Kendrick Lamar supporters, us Kendrick fans. You called yourself a K-bot? You know what that means, bro? That you just spam comments like a robot in Kendrick bars? Come on, fam. Have a little bit more respect for yourself, my guy. I respect you. This is why I'm telling you this, bro. You're a Kendrick Lamar supporter, as am I. I'll never call myself a K-bot, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I got on that, man. Salute to Drizzy Drake. Same way, brethren. You know what I mean? Like I said, we are a Toronto network, so people are expecting us to go pro Drake. Everything he does is gold. Everything he does is law. Nah, bro, we in hip-hop, man. Drop the goddamn lawsuit. Let's get back to some tunes. Maybe we could look forward to a Drake rap album or more rap album soon that has nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar. And same thing with Kendrick, okay? I don't want to hear any little slick shots towards the boy. None of that shit, bro. Let's move on, bro. All right? All right. We're off of this now. We're off of that.
Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.